I got pregnant. He fired me
I
for
would've-
being pregnant.
Thank you. And by the time we got the film, she was out this far. By the time we got the film, she was out here. And she mad at me because I said, Tiffany, you pregnant.
Yeah. They're just looking out for your help on that one.
Whatever.
Listen.
It was not like that. He could have rewrote the script. I was the mother.
Oh, you were playing.
I was
I
was acting.
She was acting in it, but she was pregnant.
So
And me and Tiffany been rolling since we've been rolling since like 2008, 2009, 2000.
Needless to say, he didn't get the film done.
Take a sip.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
Take a sip.
And look, now we gonna. But listen, the first time he was doing one film, I said, Tiffany, you got it. This is a film where you gotta show expression. I'm a Christian. I can't do that. I said, hey, we going to Christian.
You met me, yeah.
She's even now.
Listen. I pissed her off so bad she cussed me out. I thought you was a Christian.
Dang.
You just got on my nerves. I said, okay, we family now. It's love.
Yeah, I remember that, Syed. I was in my 20s.
I said, you what?
I was trying not to cuss.
Yeah.
You cussed that day.
He came out that day.
Yeah, he was getting on my nerves.
So
That'll bring it out when you get on my nerves. But yeah, we're gonna go through all of that. I can't believe I
we're
don't know
going
you.
now, so it's just
Yeah, it's already recording.
It's
but
recorded now?
yeah, we're not doing no intro. We just got
just
that's
talk
free
right in
flow.
with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's
But
up then.
it's story times.
It's story time.
Yeah, because you have some great stories.
yeah, she was telling me, I was like, oh, we got to get him to start talking
It's
about that.
story time.
This is our first.
This be like my
story
first time I really open up to him, like, boom.
Yeah.
Well, I'm we still no intro.
Yeah, we already rolling.
Okay, so listen, I'm gonna tell you, 1995, 96, I came to Greensboro.
96. You got to be taking me back.
Then the story is crazy because I moved here February 21st, 1995.
Okay.
Hiding 30 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Being the fuck out. My mom said, you gotta go. She gave a friend of mine $20. She went and bought me some underwear, some t-shirts, and told that girl, do not get him this money until he get across that Delaware Bridge in North Carolina and get him $20 to his brother.
Right.
Because I was already on a mission. I'm going to get this money. I'm a ghost.
Yeah.
So I got down here, all praise due to Allah. I got myself together and started getting myself together. So, I'm looking, after about 6, 7, 8 months, I'm looking good. Got my weight up. You're looking good, blinging. And something kept telling me, don't go home. You're not ready. So you know how we do. Want to go home and, and show off the new,
I'm the new Syed.
No, I'm the old Syed. I went back to being the old Syed because I started getting high.
Yeah.
But just soon I touched Greensboro, I had like $600 in my pocket. It was over. I was on a 2-day binge. My mom didn't see me for like 10 minutes when I got out the car.
Yeah.
My partner came and picked me up. He said, what's up? I said, man, I'm chilling, man. So we gonna mess with these old hookers. You know what happened after that.
Yeah.
Game over. Game over. So, but that was officially the last time I got high.
What was your drug of choice?
Crack.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to be a weed head. Like people would tell you, if you go to my hometown, they would say, "What's up with Syed?" They say he was the weedest smoking person we ever seen in our life. And we used to like get it in. We used to have like these, we used to have these parties, man. And it's like 9 of us in our family, so we have like family parties. Like it's like, and I'm gonna go back to what I said. Like the first time my wife went home with us, my wife Joy, she didn't understand it. She was like, they was like, "What's up, y'all?"
Yeah.
My sister said, "Oh, you already know what time it is. I'm going to liquor store."
Yeah. And where is home?
New Jersey.
Okay.
Let's go to New Jersey. So next thing you know, about an hour later, the whole house full with people.
Yeah.
She in panic mode because it's like,
she's coming from here.
She's from here, but she ain't never been in like type of, her family and like my family, and like everybody coming through, like it's showing love, bringing liquor, bringing all kinds. So she said, I said, look, this is what they do all the time.
Right.
This is what we do. You know what I mean? But the good thing about it opened her up to the type of people that I dealt with, because when I went home, when I go home, everybody in the hotel showed me love. They love me. Because before I fell off, I should take care of people. Didn't have money, like kids, and I got to help families. I should take care of people. Yeah. But then when I fell off,
So what is the fall off piece?
Start getting high.
No. Okay, like you was taking care of people because you're an adult. You didn't get on drugs in high school.
No. I didn't get on drugs. I didn't start doing drugs until I was like 25.
So you came in late.
No, I came in when crack started. So I got hooked up with these cats at the airport. They was like, yo, man, you ain't never. I said, nah. So I was like, what the hell? So they said, try this. Yeah. Man, let me tell you something. Man. I was in the fucking Prospect Park in Brooklyn. I was so high. The police said, listen, you get in this truck out of here.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to be responsible for you. And he said, the only reason why I don't lock you up, because I get off in an hour, 6 o'clock. But that's how high I was. Wow. But he sat there with me till I got myself together. And I was, he escorted me to that damn bridge and said, don't come back. Yeah. And I used to drive a truck. Hey. So that's how I got introduced to the Ready. So I was like, well, damn. So I was like, go to New York, get bundles from these cats I work with at the airport, and I go make money. Yeah. And then I'm just gonna run down. I'm just gonna run just to run it. And then I used to work with these cats and never get his name was cats dealt with. He said, listen, never mess with our women. He was Jamaican. He said, we don't give a damn what you do, but don't mess with our women. And them telling them Jamaican girls is bad, bro.
And you didn't.
I'm 20-something years old now. No, I didn't because we had that relationship. Plus, I
wonder why he said that.
Because they possessive like that. Yeah, Jamaicans is like Jamaicans and Spanish people. People other than us. That community is real possessive over their women. Yeah. Like Italian, like Italian, Mexicans. Yeah. All them people, they over protective and possessive of the women. They not like us. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I started dealing with him. And he said, yo, man, I need you to do me a favor. I want to put a car, because he was from New York. Uh-huh. He said, I want to put a car on your insurance so I can get a cheaper rate. Right. So I said, okay. So I said, start hooking up with people here and there. Yeah. And I'm getting, so I wish my first wife was here to tell you, she was panic mode, man. She flipped on me. So I came home from work one day, there was a black Crown Vic sitting in my yard. Uh-huh. With federal tags on it. So I go in the crib, I'm like, yo, what's up? The man he said, look, sit down, I'm gonna show you something. So he took this book and had me with Castle and all these other Jamaicans.
They done lumped you up in.
Right. So he said they're head of an international. I thought it was about the crack. Plus I was boosting, a little tiny liquor bottles you get in the liquor store. Plus I was running on with the dude, because the dude I was with at the airport, he was over drug, food, and alcohol. So he was giving me cases of these damn little miniature things. And I was taking the Jersey, selling them to the bars. Yeah. So I thought it was about that. So he pulled his book up and started flashing all these pictures. I'm like, oh shit. He said, they are international car theft ring. I said, bro, I'm gonna keep it 100. That's the only thing this brother did for me. I ain't lie. He asked me to put a couple cars in this thing, and I hooked him up with some of my people, and I said that was it. Right. So about 6 months later, they sent me a letter. Said, thank you for my cooperation. What the hell I do? You
locked him up.
Cooperation on what? I just told you what happened to me. I don't know what happened to them.
I don't need nobody coming after me.
But that was a real crazy part of my life, because working in New York, my first wife she was from upstate. She was from upstate North Jersey. And we used to, man, that was some fun times though. There was some fun times, but she just couldn't take it. I got to the point where she had to go
because of you,
because of my drug addiction.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, man, before I fell off, you talking about love, people. I had it made like a king.
Oh, I bet. I seen it growing up in Chicago with people like that. Well, you see it, they on top, and in the community, they are just helping everyone. Like, you are the person they come to. Mm-hmm. But it's the respect too with that. Everybody know you, and then you do, like, either you fall off because of that, or you fall off because you get caught.
Right.
And now you having to start all the way back over. And I remember it was this dude, and not to cut you off, but it was a dude named Pumpkin. And he was like real big. I remember he got caught. He was in prison for a while, and he came out. He was staying with my brother's girlfriend at the time because they were cool. And I remember he had this caddy with the phone in it and all this other shit I had never seen. And this is like late 80s, maybe 1990, 1989, somewhere around there. You just weren't used to seeing that, And he was young. He was still young. And he was telling me all these stories about his life and stuff. And he was just like, yeah. And he was talking about how it changed because he was trying to start back over. And he was at the bottom right now, and he was just constantly had all these ideas of getting himself back going, but he was like, I got to be careful. I got to be like, they watching me all the. And it was just, but yeah, it sounds like what you telling. It just sounds so familiar.
But see, when I got clean, I wasn't trying to start over nothing. I gave, and people don't. And when Martin Luther King said he'd been to the mountaintop, but I didn't get killed. I've been there. Yeah. I got so high, man. I walked down to the Delaware River and I was getting ready to commit suicide. Yeah. I couldn't take it no more. I couldn't. I've been to rehabs. I've been to jail. I did all the little shit that I was supposed to do and I couldn't take it more. I went to the Delaware River. I was getting ready to jump in. I'll never forget it. And that's why I tell people, I personally don't believe in Jesus being my Lord and Savior. Like, got to go through Jesus to get to God. Or I don't, even though I follow Islam, I don't believe I have to get them through Islam to get to God, because a light hit that water, and my water's born on a lot. A light hit that water and said, if you just do everything I ask you to do, I guarantee you'll never get high again. And that's why I do what I do. Yeah. I thank him every day. I do my work, because if it wasn't for that moment,
was it audible?
Huh?
Was the voice audible, or was it
was just like something talking to me in my head. Yeah. But I know I seen a light hit the water, and it's something just in my head said, if you do whatever I ask you to do, or it leads you to do, you'll never get high again. And that's like that time I told you earlier, when I came home that one time, that voice hit me up again and said, you ain't ready.
See,
you know what I mean? But this is the blessing God gave us. He gave us all the ability to make our own decisions and fail and succeed based on the decisions we make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So after that, I've been clean 29 years.
Mm-hmm.
If people don't know, I don't talk to people about my drug addiction, because I don't need to. I talk to people about the goodness the way I'm living today. Yeah. Because we see that drug shit every day.
Yeah.
What I mean? We don't need to talk about that shit.
Your story, as far as overcoming, because so many people still falling into that struggle. Do you speak to them out in the community, those who are struggling? Because it's nothing like, I say that because I always say, like, my older brother who, and not to get too much into it, but he's in prison now. He's someone, when I talk to him, like, you have the ability to have these conversations that I can't really have, because someone might look at me and be like, well, you haven't gone through that. Mm-hmm. But see, if someone has gone through it.
You went through it because your brother went through it, and you became a victim of it because you seen what he went through.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it affected you. It probably affected you. It probably affected your mom. It probably affected your dad. It probably affected your brothers and sisters, because you see it. You know what I mean?
That you get the police at your house. You get all that.
All that.
You deal with all of that, and you get that insight that other people don't have. Other people just see it on TV. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't know when they come through with the warrant and they come searching through the house and they do everyone don't know what that experience is like.
And the funniest thing about my life is that all the shit that I can tell you I've been through, my town ain't but 1 square mile. Yeah. The town I'm from is 1 square mile. Really? I know 10 people right now that died of AIDS.
Yeah.
What? It's 1 square mile. Rough as hell. Mm. It was just like, I'm literally 1 square mile. So you could go down the track and run the track 4 times. That's how big my town is.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And it's like
everybody knew you. That's why everybody knew you.
And everybody knew me. Yeah. And
so when you did get hooked on drugs, it was like, oh, he fell off. Oh, what's wrong with Syid?
When I got hooked on drugs, it was a shock to people when they really when they really knew I was doing drugs. It was like, well, damn.
Yeah, it's always like that when you're the one everyone's coming to,
right?
Because no one is expecting that, from you, because you're the one that's like saving others.
Yeah.
So now they're like, but I seen it so much growing up with people just on my block, and like they'll be. For years, as you're growing up there, you see them one way, then all of a sudden, it's like they kind of disappear.
They disappear.
Yeah. And then when you see them, you're like, whoa. Mm-hmm, and that's how, and when you're young, like with all the kids, we all notice it because it's all around us.
Now, the one thing I can tell you, though, is that the girls that didn't used to want to mess with me, now listen, before I fell off, this when they was falling off, the girls that wouldn't mess with me, and because they thought they was cute, oh, I already knew the routine now. You already know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You already know. So, It's like I said, you I don't want to get too because you said
No, I got a question. Because you've been an independent filmmaker now. I think you've done I know it's been over 30 films, independent films.
Oh, congrats.
And do you think you would have been doing that if you did not go through being drug addicted? I think that's why you did so well when you came here, in the art industry here. It's because you are a people person.
Because you definitely have the energy. When we first met, your energy, like you had the ability just to interact. Easily. And you come off real cool and calm and reserved and smooth. And
until somebody do you wrong. I mean,
but like I said, when I first moved here, I went to the Cultural Arts Center.
Okay.
And they would not, I'm from up north, so I'm zooming like a damn chicken with my hair cut off. I'm trying to get it. So this lady, I'll never forget, her name was Miss Bynum. She used to always sit at the desk. Because every time I go down there and try to do a project or something, they would turn me down. So what really set me off was I wrote a play about Malcolm X's wife, Betty Shabazz. But the name of the play was Malcolm, Love and Loyalty. But the play was about her being a single parent while she married. So I asked them, they didn't pick me for the festival. So I asked them, did they read the script? So they said, well, it was too wordy and we didn't like it. I said, but who was it about?
Right.
I said the script wasn't even about Malcolm X. It was about his wife. So I beat him up with the race card. Hard.
Yeah, I would like to say if when we started doing business together, and I didn't have a eye for racism or like being oppressed, because I felt like I could just do anything. And I remember you always constantly telling me that they're not doing this because we're black, and I'm like, no, like it was
all
like,
the time.
Still young and fresh to it all.
Very like naive about the situation at the Cultural Arts Center. But then as you kept on, because you already had history with the Cultural Arts Center by the time I had started coming around, so you knew how it went. And then let me tell you who changed my mind. It wasn't you really. It was Mary Ellis. You remember Mary?
Mary Ellis.
Yes,
she died. She was like one of the best people, man.
Really?
She was part Indian.
Okay.
Part Lumbee Indian.
And she worked at the Cultural Arts Center, and she was the only person from the Cultural Arts Center that would come to our paper to support us.
That's what's up.
And she told me that it's their mindset. It's like you can't do anything about their mindset. But yeah, she's the one who made me say, okay, well maybe Syed is right. He ain't just
And I battled him.
You did. I'd be like, Syed, stop.
No. And I battled. And I would like force them to do stuff for us. Or force them to do stuff. Miss Bottom, I never got Miss Bottom said, you are good for these people. He said, because you don't give up. Everybody else come down here and give up.
Don't you realize you open up the doors for every?
I got, that's
what I told Josh.
This is the first thing.
If it wasn't for Syed, you would be sitting.
This is the only. I don't brag because I just do. Yeah. But I tell people this now, and I don't get enough credit for that. I was the first person. We had the first all-black production in there.
Nice.
About the Negro League baseball players. I was the first person to start showing films in there. I was the first person to start really doing black stuff in there, like that, where the whole cast is black. And I used to get with them. I said, because y'all keep showing us stuff this stuff doesn't represent us. It's just safe for y'all.
Yeah, you used to say it's the Cultural Arts Center. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's not it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that as black people, and we sell ourselves short, too fast and too many times. Say, okay, let them have that. No, fight to the end, because we get that much. This much is better than that much.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like the way things are going now within the black community. The black community should not be in the position we're in today. Right. It's too much opportunity. Yeah. Black people should not saying they can't get a job.
I agree with that.
Because for whatever reason, I can't find a job. And every day you see all these billboards.
Because you're saying the doors have already been opened.
The doors
are now
from people like you opening the doors.
You're right.
And not only that, your story that you are telling now, to me, is for people hearing it and when they listen to it and watch it later, is knowing, okay, even though I've been maybe someone who's been arrested or someone who's had their challenges with some type of substance, and they're thinking, what am I going to do? And then they see you and they're like, no, it doesn't end just because, you encountered some, turbulent times,
Right.
you can make it through it. And we have someone who not just made it through it, but opened doors for others and continuing to do right. Even with, I love the shirt that you're wearing. Let's just call it out right there. Yeah. Get the black mind right.
And it's like I tell people, I said, listen, this is the worst thing they did to black people. See, the system, people gotta understand how the system works. When they started charter schools and magnet schools, they were actually created for inner city youth. Do your homework. That charter schools was created for black people. Okay. But the people start seeing how much money was going into these charter schools, so they start taking in and creating their own charter schools. Just like why don't we have trade schools anymore? 2-year trade schools.
Yeah.
Because these trade schools, they were putting in these areas for these black kids to learn to trade, and they figured if these Negroes learn to trade, we can't suck the money out of them to go to college for 4 years.
No, it's something because you don't see it like when I was
about
young,
the money for college.
It was all that. Even in high school, that you would take
wood shop,
classes,
metal shop, all these shops
that would lead you into getting these certificates and all of that. Those 2-year degrees in trade school. You don't see that no more.
And that's why it's lack of being in the recruiting industry. You have lack of workers because they're not going to trade school. It's hard for apartment complex to find maintenance people. It's hard to find people that does air.
It's slowly
AC.
coming back around. Though.
Yeah, slowly coming back around because people do. I mean, you got to do your research here. You could be making more money than you would be making coming out of a college 4-year degree. If you just go straight into getting your certificate. I know
plumbers who are making the high 6 figures with just that trade.
Just that trade.
Yeah, and they're coming through because they're getting those contracts for when these new companies come in here and they need all that built and they need that plumbing system. They're coming in, they're doing it, and they killing it. They're killing it.
This is a funny story, but it's not funny. I'll tell you the story about my brother.
Okay.
My brother was a major drug dealer. Major.
So your brother sold drugs and you was taking the drugs.
I sold drugs too, but I just got high. He used to get high too, but he quit. But this is the funny thing. My brother been to jail like 4 or 5 times. But this is the thing though. He the only person I know that went to jail. Every time he came out of jail, he had a certificate of completion.
Some type of skill, right?
He was using that time.
But this one, he got a certificate of completion for being asbestos. That paid $25 an hour off gate. He got a certificate of completion for being a pipe fitter. He got a certificate of completion, and he got his degree after that.
Yeah.
My brother, right now today, after being in prison like 15 years out of life, he's a pipe fitter. And that's what I be trying to explain to these guys. So you go to jail, you got to go to jail. You need to go to jail to try to learn something for free.
I'm telling you, because everything is given to you for free. Because the average person in prison, the state makes off of you $30,000+ a month. They're making 6 figures off of you annually. Wow. So all of this money they're getting for each, but that's why it's such a big business. That's why it was, private, and now they're trying to get it back.
Well, Obama, he did away with the private thing with the federal government. The state still
Clinton
private.
Was the one that made that big.
Oh, that mom.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of people don't even realize Clinton did that, and Clinton did, and I know just because of my brother going through this, and then Clinton made it where you had to do 85% of your time, like all of that shit that was hurting people when they were doing it.
See, this is how thin we are.
Go ahead, you can cuss on the show.
He went up there with a horn, some sunshades, and pulled all the Negroes in.
I know, so easy.
Easy.
And said he smoked some weed.
Smoked weed.
That was it.
He made himself relatable.
Right.
To the
and
black community.
then he passed a law. Then he passed a law, one strike you out.
Exactly.
And Trump said it too. Trump said it in his thing. This one thing I agree with Trump. Trump said, y'all like Clinton and them, and Clinton wouldn't put all you blacks in jail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, when you think about it, Democrats have been more of the
hindrance.
Yes, towards black people. It's just that we're not paying attention to it. Like I always tell people, do your research. Don't just go by the fact that this is what your family has done.
Right.
For each generation. Actually look into it. There's nothing wrong with going to the polls and voting Republican for this, Democrat for that,
Right,
Independent
right.
for this. Like you don't have to be one
way.
party, but
Yeah.
that's what they feel.
And that's
they
what we
think.
do. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
like-
because we had really been brainwashed into that. That's why you got the shirt on, get the black mind right.
Yeah.
Because really in our community, we are persuaded really easily by
our own people.
our own people and outside people. And yeah, because we will play the victim or play that card.
Because it's just easy.
So, 'cause it's easy. Yeah,
it's the easy thing to go to
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
taking
You know what I'm saying?
ownership.
Yeah.
And that's why when I talk to people, it's like it's a system. If us four, let's say 5 of us was in this room, me or 3 and 10 people, and we put a plan together. Who is we putting the plan in place for the benefit?
Cause we gonna benefit.
The black people in the room.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we
So that was what happened.
so how we gonna be mad at the government with 12 white men sitting in the room putting a plan together and we talking about we being discriminated against? We ain't being discriminated against. It's their system.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what we have to do as black people is just come to the conclusion it's their system. Now we have to come, like Ice Cube said. Now we 20 for 3. No matter what people say, black people 23% in the vote. Period. Like Ice Cube said. Now we got to put a plan in effect that's going to affect us as black people.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's Republican. I don't care if it's independent.
Right.
I don't care if it's the Democrat. But what contract are we? Because they do it all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what contract are we going to sign right now today to get our vote?
Yeah. It's funny because we had, when it was Trump and Biden, you remember when we had the show, we was talking about this when we was over at 105 live, and we were talking about that as far as, you know, the biggest challenge. And it's one of the things where I said, it's like, you know, we back and forth fighting about who plantation to be on instead of really coming with what we want and what we are willing to push the agenda for. But it's like, first, what is the agenda? Like, where's the conversation start? And then everyone is not going to agree on it. That's fine. But it's like, let's get a list together and then everyone get on board with it. You can make alterations to it
Right.
as it, you know, progresses and it moves forward. But right now, we just got to get it. We all got to be united with as a front to move it forward.
You know what black people's agenda should be? Our first agenda should be is stop when we have conversation and stop telling everybody about our conversation. That should be off. That's our number 1 agenda. They don't let us know what they talking about. Why are we letting everybody know what you're talking about? The second agenda is all these super filthy black people we got. We need to have a serious conversation with them and say, what are y'all actually willing to do for the lower class black people? What are y'all willing? Let us know what you're willing to do to help us get out of rugby, because we got a job to do too now. But I tell people all the time, you can't ask poor people to build wealth if they poor, and you're not gonna. You know, my mom and your grandmama, they live with 10, 15 people in the house.
They do.
We shouldn't have to do that.
That's why I want to ask you this: why can't we ask them to build wealth? Why you can't ask poor people to build wealth?
And just to jump in real quick.
No, you good.
To me, it always starts to educate, and I say this because when the Black Panther Party, when they were establishing themselves, one of the first things they said was, we're not just going to give money to the community. We're going to educate them.
Right.
Because if you just give them money, which we saw what FEMA did with Hurricane Katrina, when they just gave people money, the same thing what they did with COVID, when they would just give people money, they just do whatever with it. You have to educate people on how to spend the money, how to invest the money, and what to do with the money. But you don't want to do that. In my opinion, the government would rather just give money because they're going to get it right back.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you educate them, they're going to use that money to make money off of, but don't do that. So again, the Black Panther Party will do that. And with us, you have to, in my opinion, you first have to educate the people and then start putting in programs. So, because for one, you have to put in programs to where they are putting forth the effort to create the change. Because if someone is just giving it to you, it's not going to work like that at all. We
have to just like, and it's hard to, I didn't get none of that $960 a week, but I wanted it. So you tell it, and Pink Bob been saying, you're a waitress. You making tips for 20 years. Now all of a sudden COVID kick, you get $600 a week for free money. Why would you want to go back to being a waitress once COVID's over with? Now, because the government just played the hand. You see what I'm saying? Now, and it's hard to get people to go back to work now because they said the government can take care of us and they're going to take care of us. And that's how a lot of people living.
Yeah.
They don't care if they broke because the government's going to do something for them.
So you think that the government shouldn't do anything for them?
No, I think that the government should help people. And I don't want to say this, the wrong way. I think the government should help people that makes an effort to help themselves, but they also should help people that's in a position where they just generational cursed.
Yeah,
I hate to say it like that because some people.
That's where the education comes into place. Those people need that education so they can break that chain,
right?
Because what is familiar to them is those generations of welfare, and leaning on the government to take care of them, and all they know is that process. They know if I have so many children, I'm gonna get this amount of money. I'm gonna be on Medicaid. I'm gonna do this. So that's what they know, and that's the game they're playing, and they stay like that, because of they're not educated to know that, and if they don't get anyone to intervene to give them that education, they continue with that. Now you always have, you and I talk about, you always have those exceptions. You have the people that break the chain, but how difficult is that?
That's
when
difficult.
Your mindset is not of that to make a change, and I tell you all the time, if you look at me, you, Kurt, yourself, who you are right now, you didn't get that way overnight. Right. So any change that you make is going to be work. It's going to take years, and it's an up and down process.
Exactly.
You doing well at one moment, then you might backtrack some, because that's just part of the process. And that to me is a lot of it, that education piece. Right,
but if your mind is not strong, then you're gonna not move forward.
But that's part of it. Everyone is not going to we have to stop thinking that everyone is going to make the journey.
Right.
Everyone is not.
I realized it was a sad day when I realized that everybody.
It's like even like
everybody can go.
I'm gonna get to the drug thing, then I'm gonna come back there again. Just like with the drug thing, everybody's not gonna get clean.
Right.
We know everybody's not gonna get clean, but those who out there fighting to get clean, even though we think don't want to get clean, you still have to put out an effort to just to offer your support and help them.